Alright, I think we're live. Oh my goodness, I need to turn the game on. There we are. Oh, okay, we are live. Hello, hello. I'm going to crack straight on into things, as per usual. But, welcome to day 73. I probably... Hello? Yeah, like I've literally just started. So, what is it? Oh, okay. What about you? Yeah. I woke up about 20 minutes ago. So if I look tired, if it looks like I've just woken up, probably correct. Probably correct. But yeah, but no, I hope you're doing well. Oh, what up? It is, well, I mean, it's 9 o'clock in the morning for me, so as much as I would love to say, actually no, it is early for me, I think. But no. Well, no, because the other thing too is because it's Sunday, if I streamed in the evenings, it would be me getting anxious for work the next morning, and me just getting distracted because I'm thinking about what I have to do for work. But no, but how are you? And I'm jealous that it's still Saturday for you. Even though I know at the end of the day you get the exact same amount of weekend, but I just want it to be a 3-day week. I know that you've got a some congressman somewhere, I don't know which state or who he is, was saying that we should totes have a 32-hour work week in the modern age, and I'm just like, if I was American, I would vote for you, because that is so true. We totally should. But anyway. Well, in terms of whether you should get more sleep or not, always err on the side of yes. If you feel tired, if you feel like physically tired, then it never hurts getting more sleep. Oh no, and how is she anyway? And I think I'm alright. I went to sleep far earlier last night than I thought. I went to sleep pretty much almost straight after the stream, which is early for me. 10 o'clock is early. She was this last. Don't mind the 40-hour work week. I want 4 10-hour shifts. Yeah, that I would agree with that. Having long shifts for 4 days rather than slightly shorter shifts for 5. I can totally agree with that. You got to stop playing Persona 5. You monster. Oh my goodness, you how could you? But no, she is she obsessed with, is it Psychonauts that she's obsessed with, or is it a new one? Hey, Michael Rich, what up? You've leapt into chat, and I hope you've landed on a lovely, soft, cushiony cushion and blanket. That's my hope. But no, how are you? The thing with for me and Psychonauts. So I think like the story and lore and like the level design is unparalleled. But I could never play it because so much of it is so creepy to me. Like I would get really, really uncomfortable with a lot of the designs and everything. It just, lots of it creeps me out, and I haven't even played it, so I could it's something, it's like Resident Evil and like horror games and stuff. I will learn all about it. I'll learn every possible kind of detail. I can tell you the plot of Psychonauts 1 and the plot of Psychonauts 2 in full detail, every level, the kind of like metaphors and environmental storytelling that's going on. I can tell you all that. I haven't touched it. I haven't not played a single level of it myself. But I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Love Shippuden, but it does start at snail's pace. You've got to go through the whole like, oh wait, that's right, we've got to do, why don't we just do the bell exercise again? And that's like 3 episodes in and of itself or something. It's, yeah. Oh, it's a 22-hour docu. I thought it was only like 2 hour thing. Oh, dang, I didn't realize it was that long. Yeah, because the only other Tim Schafer game I've played, is it Tim Schafer? Yeah, is Brutal Legend. Just because, you know, any heavy metal fan should play Brutal Legend. I absolutely loved that game, but yet struggled to finish it just because the end was difficult. But I've got to, I need to like find a way to ask them a question, because I've got a theory about how they designed that game, the way that they did, like in terms of the, how they designed it, just in terms of all the levels you go through, because I'm pretty sure it's meant to emulate the history of heavy metal and the kind of like aesthetic that went alongside them, and that's my theory, and I've been fine crafting it, but yeah, I will give it a shot. I'm especially in games like Psychonauts, where the everything feels so purposeful. Everything feels so purposeful in Psychonauts, and I'll just be so curious to see if whether a lot of theories I have on why certain things are there or not are true. Yeah. Oh my god, you guys know I love Brutal Legend? Oh my, guys, yes. Great, we are in good company then. But yeah, no, I've, my theory, my one prevailing theory of Brutal Legend is that the progression, the sort of, the whole map, as you progress through each area, it sort of gives a history on the different eras of heavy metal, because you start off and like, you know, your big like red dark sky giant swords in the hilltop, and you think, okay, well, when heavy metal started in like the, well, couldn't even say when it started, but you know, you think of like 60s, like Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, all that sort of stuff. And then a lot of the kind of aesthetic around it, or even Judas Priest, a lot of the aesthetic around it was medieval, like swords and sorcery, you know, warriors of blah blah blah, that sort of thing. Hence that sort of background. And then you go into that little like, so then you go into like the first main boss, I think, of the game is like the sort of glam metal thing, where it's all like the little like disco lights and stars and purples and pinks and things. So that's like when you now get into like early 70s or something, maybe mid 70s with Kiss and glam metal era, where it's all costumes, I guess you could say, that sort of thing. So then you're like, great. So then what you do is you get you then come out into like a jungle kind of thing. So then that's like sort of, you're coming out of Kiss era, sort of coming out of glam metal a little bit, and it's almost like this one I don't really have a name for as such, but I'd say it's like, it's kind of when you get into sort of like the late Iron Maiden stuff, like the late 70s Iron Maiden, or maybe even early, no, now you look into like mid to late 80s stuff. I don't have a solid theory on the jungle side of things, like what genre, if that's a particular genre, or kind of like a transitionary period. But then after that, you then get into your like big gothic coffins and cemeteries and candelabras and all these things, because now you're getting into your like death and black metal, and it's all like Candlemass and all those things where suddenly you've got lots of organs and harpsichord instruments in the songs, and it's very like funeral march almost, very that. I wouldn't say grunge is such a black doom, death metal sort of thing. And then it culminates in the sort of like the Sea of Black Tears or something, where now you're in like the 90s, mid 90s, and it's sort of like it's gone now grunge, like metal is now gone grunge. It's like late 90s Metallica, where it's like not quite the thrash that they used to do, but it's now still a bit angsty and emo, and then I think that's it. I think it doesn't go beyond this. It's basically from like 1960 to 2000. What was the different like evolutions of metal, and that's I mean, in an absolute nutshell, that's my theory of it in any way. But when I put it in my head, it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense that like it makes sense to the point that I don't see how it could be anything else, or just coincidence. It seems too intentional and it fits too perfectly. But anyway, that's my general theory. I'll need to play it again, actually, see if I can refine it somewhat. Yeah. Favorite genre is melodic metalcore. Interesting. So my favorite is like, would I go even symphonic? Would I even go symphonic power metal? maybe not symphonic power metal, not like Rhapsody of Fire or anything, but it'd be like just power metal as a broad genre. Anything where they're talking about dragons and magic and warriors going on quests to slay evil overlords. I love it. I dig. Yeah, kind of like Opeth. There was a band. I can't remember if they're Finnish or Swedish. They're sort of Scandinavian, called Lost Horizon, and they only did like 2 albums in the early 2000s. Only did 2 albums, and that was it. But I love that. There's one of a band Dragonland, and they did one. They do albums. Well, I think they did 3 albums where it kind of tells a story across the whole thing. So it's like the one that I like. Oh god, what's it called? Under the Grey Banner or something? No. Grey something. Oh my goodness, I think it's Under the Grey Banner. It's like, it's a guy from an island gets, travels across the sea, and then his brother, who is like the protagonist of a previous album, is now like evil and creating like evil armies and stuff. So this guy has to like travel to, saves like an elf queen, and they travel to the land of the elves, and then they go to the dwarves and are asking the dwarves for help, and then they go to like, they've got to go and get, it's very Lord of the Rings sort of thing. That sort of stuff, yeah. Yeah, with Microchip, I've been sitting on that, I've been crafting that theory for a long time. I'm sure when I play it again, because it's been a long time since I played it, I'm sure if I played it again I'd probably be able to pick out more details just to add to it to refine it, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. When I played guitar, I learnt how to do an A, D, and E chord, and then that's me. I did the opening to Smoke on the Water that everyone learns, and that was my history of guitar playing. I've just got my, I don't know if it's just something about how my joints in my hand work. I don't even know how it is. I can't bend I can't bend all of my fingers independently of each other, so it just makes playing like guitar really difficult. Oh, nice. Hey, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is a jam. It is a jam and a half. I say that sarcastically, but yeah. No, but nice. I think I can do In the Jungle on piano, and that's about it. because at school in the States, at school, I'm guessing you guys have music class that like everyone at some point has to do. And then because in music class in New Zealand, well, I say in New Zealand, at my school, we got assessed on playing guitar, playing piano, and then if you wanted to learn anything else, but it might have just been my school actually, but we were very limited on resources. I think the most you could play beyond that was, I think they had one drum kit, which you had to have special permission to touch. I think you had a couple of flutes and recorders, and then that's about it. But like, is it still a case where you have to do music to some degree, and then you can choose later on if you carry it on? Okay, got it. So some similar-ish to us. We have to do music until high school. No, even then I think we have to do until high school. Basically, age 14, I think, is when it becomes optional. Alright, so you can choose to drop out even earlier. I mean, I'm sure if I picked up a guitar now, it would be I think I might remember how to do the D chord, even then. I might be able to still do the Smoke on the Water intro, but that's about it. Although, I will say, and it is so weird that it is the case, but I remember, okay, so our music teacher at school, at high school, she had favorites. There was, obviously the people who did music, quite good at it. They were her favorites. And so one time music class, and I can't remember if it was like, I think it was basically for the whole term, we were going to be doing SingStar. And basically what it was is they would be like, we would, over the course of this term, we would be doing SingStar. We would count how many points we got at the end of every song over however long we did it for. And then at the end of the term, we add up all our points, and whoever had the most points was the SingStar King or Queen. Who ended up being the SingStar King or Queen that term? Moi. I have the most. See, when it comes to SingStar, I sound utterly horrible. I sound absolutely atrocious, disgusting, horrendous, cover your ears, children. But I can hit every note. Like, I either A, know the songs, so I can sing them properly, but I'm very good at hitting all the notes. And after the term, we added up all the points, and I'd won, and I think the teacher was a bit upset that that the singers in the music class didn't win. They did come close, but it was I think there was a song's worth of points behind. And it basically, when it was just very not to any kind of fanfare. It was literally just on the way out of the classroom on the last day. She was like, "Oh yeah, congrats, you're the SingStar Queen." I'm like, "Thank you. I don't take music, and I would never sing in front of anyone, you know, any audience to save my life. I had to, obviously you have to for this class. But yeah, so I was very pleased about that, and it's just, I just laugh thinking about it, that the both the singers, like the, you know, the singers who prided themselves on the singing, and the music teacher were visibly, like, not upset, probably the wrong word, but visibly, why the hell did it have to be her, kind of thing. Why could it not have been that? Basically pulled a Gryffindor. While the, like, basically pulled a Gryffindor while, like, the Ravenclaws and Hufflepuffs are sitting there going, like, why the hell, like, what? Like, sorry, excuse me, what? Like, that sort of thing. So yeah, so if you ever want to face me in the SingStar tournament, beware. Because I'm coming for you. But yeah, so in terms of anything musical, SingStar is the only thing where I've ever been able to accomplish anything beyond bottom of the barrel. Oh, and that's right, and then we also, in our first year of music class in high school, no, it would have been intermediate or middle school, I think, is we had a reliever teacher for one of the terms, and her thing was we had to basically pick a song. We can be in groups of up to 3, but we have to pick a song and sing it in front of the class. And everyone was absolutely terrified out of their minds. They have to sing unassisted, other than like having the karaoke version of the song on the stereo behind us. We had to sing in front of like a class in year 7 when you're still like, you don't know half of these people still properly, like the social groups haven't fully formed yet. Terrifying, yeah. Oh, that's hey, everyone picking SpongeBob. Good choice. Good choices. Oh my goodness. That's pretty neat though. Because as soon as the first person would have done SpongeBob, the second person would be like, oh god damn. Oh well, I've got nothing else prepared, so let's do it. And then the third person would be like, for God's sake. Like, why is everyone now doing SpongeBob? And then the 14th person's like, oh god damn, I've got SpongeBob too, they're all gonna hate me after this. But no, we had to, my group, there's me and a couple of my friends from primary, we ended up doing 2 songs, I think. We did, what's it called? Oh, Crush, is it Crush from Paramore. It was one of my friends' like favourite songs at the time, so we ended up doing that. And then we did the campfire song from SpongeBob, which was, of course, the best out of the entire class. But no, we did SpongeBob, and then I think the teacher was like, oh for God's sake, like, why are you picking baby songs? de reanimación and young This is 190, no, it's 20. Okay. Do one more. There we are. Lovely. Oh, the other thing too, the keeping on the musical theme. One of the funniest moments in school, hands down, it went down in legends. It was meme-ified on the Facebook memes page for the school. It was fantastic. They had so in assemblies. So I'm guessing you guys also, you guys also have like just like times maybe once a week or once a couple of weeks where you have to all meet. In the hall or something, and teachers give their updates or whatever. So we always had to do singing practice at the ends of our because being a Catholic school, you know, we have to make sure that our church voices are on fleek. So we'd all have to sit in our houses. So there'd be blue house, gold house, which was mine. Was it yellow? No, it's gold house. Green and red. Now did I just play as Eno? I feel like I just did. Completely lost my train of thought. If this is fight 22, then I did. Okay. We have to sit in our house, so then, you know, we'd have to all do singing practice and whatever. The teachers would consistently get frustrated with us because no one wants to sit there right before lunchtime singing church songs, much to the teachers' ire and frustration, because we need to be the best singing school ever in the whole history of humankind. So there was one day in particular where basically they said, right, we're going to go house by house in each block, and you have to sing this verse of the song, and if you do it to our standards, then you're allowed to go to lunch. So they started with the blue house on the far left of the thing, which was like to the left of me, and this guy will forever go down in history as not the savior of blue house, but so they're like, right, blue house, we're ready. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, and one guy started singing, and everyone else was silent. And this guy like sang for about like 3 seconds, and it was like realized no one else was singing. He's like, it like stops, and the teachers were a bit like dumbfounded that literally no one sang except that one guy. They let that one guy go to lunch right then and there. They're like, right, you can go to lunch straight away. And he was like, yo, and he just did like this walk of pride across the hall. But they're just like, right, Blue House, you're staying in during lunch. Obviously all the rest of the houses then had the fear of God put into them, so we all sang lovely, beautifully. But then poor old Blue House had to stay and have a shorter lunch because they didn't sing. It was, and then that guy forever. It was like all the memes about. I think it was like the meme of like the nerdy looking dude is like that one guy from Blue House. You know, the you can kind of get the gist. But just the one thing that the teachers just couldn't wrap their heads around, or maybe they did wrap their heads around it, they just had a teacherly duty to not. they just couldn't wrap their heads around why a whole bunch of teenagers would not want to sing church songs. They would think, oh, come on guys, come on, who doesn't want to sing church songs? Yeah, they just, whenever it got to the singing part of assembly, it just meant everyone's life was a living hell. And then they're like, right, okay, we'll spice some things up, we'll stop using church songs and we'll pick like normal songs for you to sing. But it's like I'm Yours by Jason Mraz and You're the Voice by John Farnham, is that it? I think. They picked the most, I want to say sappy, I'm going to say sappy. They picked the most like 40-year-old mum, what they think easy listening is. It's very much that. Yeah. Oh no, that is all good. That is all good. I hope you have a rest and you feel better afterwards. Make sure you drink lots of water. I would say ice cream, but have like a spoonful of ice cream, but then water after that. But no, much love, take care. I will see you next week. Yes, no, take care, ball. More FF7 tomorrow. Oh, I will be there. I will be there. I might have some meetings, and depending on when you stream, but I'll be there. Yeah. Oh, Wasteland, what up? How are you? How are things? Got more snow. Ooh. Is it more snow to the point where like things are being snowed in, or is it still relatively, I don't want to say normal, but relatively manageable? Got something. Okay, good. So it's gonna thaw a little bit. But how was his what am I gonna say? I'm literally about to say something and I completely lost it. Lost my train of thought. Try and remember what it was I was gonna say. But no, but anyway. overall, I'm glad things are well with you. And also, I hope things are well with your fam. Right, will this be a... It will. Okay, got Sasuke, Kage, and second Tsuchikage. What are we, 28? I'm still sort of on track in terms of time, because once we get to fight, once we get to 5,613 fights remaining, we are officially halfway. Which is extremely exciting. And I've got a little, it's going to be the most budjo thing you've ever seen in your life, but it's going to be fab when we get to halfway. No, actually no, it's not going to be fab. I'm setting way too high an expectation. It's literally just a Chrome extension that I've put on. And who's she playing as? Oh, now, I've been very curious about your guys' opinion on things. So, because I've been hype as hype for FF16, obviously the talk around it at the moment is not, well, it was initially the previews, but now it's not even the previews. It's about what good old God Yoshi P said in one of his interviews around JRPGs, and how he said he doesn't want FF16 or even FF in general to be seen as a JRPG. He just says it's an RPG that just happens to be made in Japan, because you know Elden Ring isn't called a JRPG, but it's an RPG that was made in Japan. So like, what's the distinction? And he said that you know, in recent years anyway, and probably a little bit with Final Fantasy as well, is JRPGs is seen as a derogatory term or a slur term, and so he wants at least FF franchise, as well as just generally, he wants it to not be seen as something derogatory, or even like, why are we calling it JRPGs in the first place, sort of thing. But then you can make the argument, why do we call them CRPGs and ARPGs? It's just kind of just a way to further distinguish the RPG genre, because it's so broad, or it can be so broad. But yeah, but it's so. But then suddenly now everyone's like losing their minds over it and making reaction video after reaction video, saying that it's never been a slur term. JRPGs is derogatory. First I've heard of it. But then other people saying, yeah, no, it kind of is, and here's why. And I was watching one video, and I could not believe it. Oh my god! So there's a puzzle game, Fez, which I've played. It's a really, really, really good puzzle game. Extremely difficult, but really, really good. And the developer of it, he hasn't made any games since. This is literally his only game. And there's a clip of him at some panel convention somewhere during the Q&A session, and I can't remember exactly what the person asks, but it's a Japanese game developer, you know, and he's asking something about why he doesn't cite like Japanese references, or something about why, basically his opinion on like Japanese games. He asked something anyway to prompt the first thing out of this guy's mouth to be, oh, but like your country's games suck. Japanese games are shit. Japanese games are just so awful. You guys just make the most like rubbish games. Like basically, ooh, like JRPGs. Ugh, get out of my face right now. I could not believe it. This poor game developer, who is not just any game developer either. He's worked on Final Fantasies, Shin Megami Tensei's, Button Kaitos. Like he's worked on all this. Like he's worked on stuff. And this game developer's just basically to his face saying, hey, soz, your country makes shit games. Like, whoa. But anyway, so they use this in the context of, yeah, JRPGs are being seen as a derogatory term. Because you get reaction, like, you get people saying stuff like this. And so, yeah, maybe Yoshi P is warranted. But anyway, all very, very, very long way of asking. Because is the term, do you think that Yoshi P is, it doesn't have to be necessarily like fully correct, but like on you know, he's there's something to it when he says that, you know, JRPGs is not like seen by necessarily JRPG fans, but just the general collective unconscious as something bad, or something that's just, oh, it's just Japan being weird and crazy and convoluted mechanics, and it's too anime and it's whatevs. Or do you think that he is probably seeing something that isn't actually there? I don't think it's the research RPG. I've met the first thing mine goes if it's in Japan. Turn-based, story-based. Are you gonna get just a romantic teacher? Yeah, I would definitely agree with you. When I hear JRPG, I don't think of yeah, I think of turn-based, like interesting mechanics, maybe like mechanics where there's a lot to them in terms of like the calculations in the background, like Tales games and things like that. Yeah, that's my first thing that I think about as well. It's interesting though, because I'm kind of like yes and no on it. I think when you look at it from the, yeah, you look at it on one side that, yeah, it's like ARPG to describe something like Diablo. It's got RPG elements to it, but it's far more action oriented, rather than story or anything like that. And then whereas CRPG is the other end of the spectrum, where you want a wall of text, have a wall. Here's 50 bajillion walls of text. Go for it. You want like a full-on character description of this NPC you're talking to? Here it is. Go for it. You know, so like your Baldur's Gates and your Planescapes. So it's like a way to further categorize an already really broad genre with so many different applications. Yeah, but then on the other hand, I can see where he's coming from, because I know definitely like I know some people that when they say, oh, it's a JRPG, they're like, ooh, no, get it away from me. Those are too anime. It's like, it's going to be, you know, friendship is magic. It's gonna be, you know, the real journey is the friends we made along. It's gonna be like sappy, kiddie stuff. Like, you know, they don't treat it as anything. It's not associated with anything good, essentially. Yeah. Oh, it's just too complicated. Give me my Uncharted where I'm on rails, more or less. Simple combat, I just point a gun and shoot. I don't want, you know, all these ability trees and then you have to put your things in certain things to unlock super magical combinations, because then the calculation that it's doing is 0.12 if you time, you know, that's how someone like my dad sees it. He just sees it as completely and utterly complicated for the sake of complicated. Whereas I would argue and be like, maybe your games are not complicated enough. But anyway, I digress. Yeah. Yeah. And like, so the boy, my boy was, he wouldn't have touched, well, he actually hasn't touched a, he hasn't touched a Final Fantasy before. But then when he's looking at things like 7 Remake and even 16, he's like, oh dang, okay, this looks pretty good, this looks pretty cool. And I'm like, yeah, all the Final Fantasies are pretty cool, but no, he can't do turn-based. But then I think for someone like him, JRPGs all fall under that banner. He wouldn't touch anything that's got any kind of JRPG name to it. Yeah. So I suppose it's all. I guess it's just depends who you ask. Yeah. Yeah, but no, like for a game like Tales, for instance, like Tales of Arise, Tales of like, I have to put on the easiest because that combat, just for some reason, I just cannot seem to work out how to be good at it in my brain. I can't do it. Maybe it's just because I'm not giving enough thought to it, but yeah. So no, yeah, it's an interesting thing anyway. That in Japan they're like, can we just stop calling it JRPGs? We're making an RPG. Why does it matter what country it comes from? Yeah, but anyway, yeah. Oh, we finally finished Red Dead 2. Ooh, nice. See, I haven't played Red Dead 2, but the boy is like the biggest fan. He goes through whole like cowboy phases. He like starts watching like cowboy shows, and he starts like looking at cowboy apparel, and he's like, right, we're buying a horse. Like, he goes through those phases. So I've been there when he's been playing it, so I know sort of what happens. But yeah, then he says it's just utterly fantastic. And then he spent quite a lot of time actually on the Red Dead Online, RIP. And even the post game he spends, like, I didn't realise the post game was as vast as it is. Starts looking like a dummy. Yeah. He'll eventually come out of the phase, and then he'll play a little bit of Red Dead and just straight back into it. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's Sevo, what up? How do you do? I'm doing well. But no, how are things? Oh my goodness. Bruh. And, oh, for goodness sake. Oh my lordy, can you, bruh. There we go. Anyway, how's the instruction? It is going good. We are very, very short. I'll update the list after this fight. We're very, very close to halfway. Halfway, goodness. It's been like 11 months, we're only halfway. But no, it is going well otherwise. I'm just gonna keep doing this. Just to cheese it. Okay, right, one more. No. Right, one more. Oh, come on. There we go, lovely. Okay, I'll update the list because we are at 31 now. Where's my thing? Fights remaining. 5, 6, 3, 1. Beautiful. Oh goodness, hang on. I need to bring my Excel sheet up. Where's my cursor? There we are. What are we now? Utakata again! Oh, for goodness sake. And who's he facing? Young Sakura. I do know that on Red Dead my dad started playing it and he gave up a little bit because he didn't like how like every possible thing you do needs like a button input. I think is how he described it. He said, you know, you want to get on your horse, you got to press a button prompt. You want to get off your horse, press a button prompt. If you want to skin, you got to kill an animal, then you got to go skin it, then you got to go collect the skin, then you just found it like realistic for the sake of being realistic. Dad at his old age he now prefers like games like Uncharted. Like just give me something where you just direct me where to go and I just shoot some bad guys and then I carry on and then in about 13 hours I'm done. That's his style of game. It used to be like big open world like RPGs, but now he's now he says he doesn't have time anymore to play games, so he just likes like the quick super quick ones. You're playing God of War Ragnarok. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, good choice. And whereabouts are you up to so far? And when you finish it, I'm going to be very, very, very interested to see what you thought about like the final act of that game. It was funny. It was when that game came out, because both me and the boy were like, "Oh my god, we're ready! Like we're so ready to play this game." So obviously the boy got first dibs because he is Kratos, reincarnated. If he could, he would be Kratos. He would be best mates with Kratos. He would be his reincarnated soul. But anyway, I digress. So he gets first dibs, so whenever I'll be in here and he'll be playing it out there and I'd go out to get a drink, he would like have to pause and he would just be like paused while I go get a drink, and then because otherwise it would be I'll be heavily spoiled for when I played it. Yeah. Oh, you with Trace and Sindri. Water puzzles. Oh, are those water puzzles in God, Svartalfheim? We've got to like redirect the water, or you got to throw the bloody axe to the water wheels. Oh goodness, I know. There was one bit when I was getting all the going back and getting all the collectibles. There was one water wheel puzzle, one area I had to get to, and I just could not, for the life of me, work out how the hell I was supposed to do it. I managed to do it eventually, but I'm just like, this is just, ugh, can I not? Mini boss fights by themselves. Ain't that the truth? Yeah. Find out what the Loki secret is. Just trying to think. Oh, and you'll reach a point towards the end of the game where I'm going to be very careful how I say this. There will be a plot twist. There'll be a plot twist towards the end of the game, like a huge plot twist, like one of the biggest in the game, that you'll know exactly what I mean when you say it, so I'm not going to go any further than that. You'll know exactly what I mean. And once you reach that point, and then we can safely talk about it. I've done some like digging on foreshadowing of a certain plot twist, and it is like, whoa, oh my goodness, there are so many little tidbits throughout the game that foreshadow this particular plot twist. So I'll be once you've reached it, and you'll know exactly what I mean. Then I'll share you the deets. Yeah, and there's even like Micro-Rich, there's even bits that like tight, like really minuscule details that you're just like, holy goddamn, oh good golly, they've like literally been spelling it out from like day one. Yeah, is there a new game plus? I believe there is a new game plus. It wasn't there at launch, but I think they've added it in since. I do believe so. Yeah, because I've 100%ed it and I've left it at that. I always have this thing when I like 100% a game and I know I'm not going to come back to it, or at least to that particular playthrough. I always save it. I'll always go to like the most fitting spot to call it a day, and save it there. Especially even more so like in games like Skyrim, where it gives you like the little screen preview of where you've saved it. So I need like a really fitting like title. Little save menu screen as well. But yeah. Oh, and also, Micro-Rich, I'm going to say this very, very carefully, so as not to spoil anything, but you'll know what I mean, is the one character in particular by the end of the game, and if you've done some of the post-game moments as well, one character in particular changes, like complete character change, and I think it is one of the greatest, like, character arcs across the games, like in terms of how they started and in terms of where they end up because of what happens to another character. I think it is like insane, and I don't want it to be the end of where we see them, because I need like a happy conclusion to it. I need a conclusion where I don't feel bad, and I won't say anything more than that for fear of giving away what character I'm talking about. Then again, and B. Lovely. Okay, where are we at? Trying to track progress against time. So a little disappointed in the way they displayed Tia, as in him being like, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight anymore. I'm literally gonna say absolutely nothing. I'm gonna tell you nothing about my opinion of Tia at all. Yeah, no, I will say, I'm just like, when he's like, oh no, I don't want to fight, can we just like, can we not, can we just go? So I'm like, I was feeling like it, you know. Do you kind of get the feeling like they would do you kind of get the feeling that I'm like, right, the end of the story, he's gonna like, he'll have his big, you know what, I am gonna pick up the spear, boom, and he'll just have like this like super like badass moment. That's what I was thinking, like when that's my first thought when with how they displayed, with how they showed Tia. Yeah. Oh, and did you know, this isn't a spoiler at all, but did you know that the original plan for the game was that in the initial fight with between Thor and Kratos, Thor was gonna kill Kratos, and then Thor was actually gonna kill Kratos, and then Atreus has to like journey to Valhalla or something, or he's got to go somewhere to try and grab Kratos' soul and put it back, like resurrect him. That was like and then it would be then Atreus' journey from then on, and you just play as Atreus for the whole rest of the game. That was the original cut of the game. They probably thought, we better not do that, because that would probably piss off so many people. Yeah. But no, so, and that is not spoiling anything in any way, so yeah. Yeah. On top of that, Naruto trained for 2 years, all you learned was how to change. You're not wrong. It's kind of like another game that I won't mention. Oh, is it a game that came out like a couple of years ago? That something happens right at the start and you're just like, oh my god. A game that, being a horror fan, I wouldn't be particularly, I probably wouldn't have played, but I know what happens. Sorry, I'm completely guessing of that. But anyway, no. Naruto, yeah, change that. But I'm actually, that is actually a good point too. It is one thing. Okay, right. Yeah, I think my dad played that. The boy was really looking forward to it, and that was one of his you know, he was looking forward to playing as a character. And then Dad was playing it, so we were watching the start of it, and I'm just like, this is actually uncomfortable. I'm not even a fan of these games, and I'm feeling like upset and uncomfortable. But anyway, okay, so it is that one, right? Anyway, moving on. Yeah, because it's I was reading a couple of articles around Naruto and the kind of like why things are the way they are in Shippuden. And it's all like based just around, you know, how media is sort of created and all that. And because the problem they have, and it's probably one of the biggest things, as especially when you're creating like a shonen manga or anime, is trying to balance all the power levels properly. Because you would think at the end of, after 2 years of training with a legendary Sannin, you would think Naruto would be like Sasuke levels, like in Sasuke at the start of Shippuden. You'd think he's at that point where he comes back to the village and he's just absolutely like can just wreck anyone. You'd think he would have heaps of cool new jutsu. He would be probably maybe more mature. Maybe that. It's got literally nothing. I don't need as many shadow clones to do a Rasengan anymore. That's about it. Even then, he still needs it, doesn't he? Yeah. So it is a bit, but because then the problem is if he comes back and he's super duper amazing, and everyone else like Sakura and Hinata and Ino and they're all like a little bit better than they were. Even then, Sakura, you would think that. Well, I suppose because Sakura's probably got the biggest change between. So I suppose that's alright. But you'd think that Naruto would be able to outdo them fully. Because he's got 2 years of dedicated training, and they've got, you know, they're all tuning. But, you know, they've had to do other things in between. They haven't been able just to fully dedicate to training for the last 2 years. So their sort of power level being a little bit better, but not too drastic, makes sense. But no, but then you can't have Naruto completely one-upping them all, so you have to downgrade it essentially. It's just a little bit, I don't know. It's just I think it's just one of those things that you have to try and juggle. Because then if we have Naruto up here, we then have to now bring everyone up to that sort of level as well. Or like a little bit less, because Naruto's the main character, so everyone has to be like a little bit less. Right, Sasori and young Shina. Probably going to do a couple of these ultimates. Might even do 3 of them, to be honest. There we are. Oh, very good point. If Naruto at the end of part 1 fought Naruto at the beginning. True. Yeah, actually, no, that's actually a really, really good point. Because what difference is there? Like, what tangible difference is shown? There's actually, like, nothing. There's no bigger for bitches. I did think, I must say, them figuring out how to beat Kakashi is probably. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was well done. But yeah, it's yeah, because it's only when. Because I mean, Naruto spending like 3 hours in a field with Asuma and like 1,000 shadow clones trying to learn how to cut a leaf to then learn the Rasen Shuriken. He had bigger progress in 3 hours in a field than he did in 2 years with Jiraiya. It is actually a really, really, really good point. And then, you know, going to Turtle Island, Mount Myoboku. Like, he learns more things in a day somewhere. While everyone's off having battles, Naruto goes off somewhere for like a few hours and then comes back and he's now suddenly got this huge new power level. Like, you know, the Team 10 and Kakashi are fighting Hidan and Kakuzu. Naruto's off somewhere for a couple of hours, comes and saves the day. You've got the whole village has just been absolutely leveled. Naruto's off in the field for a couple of hours, comes back, saves the day. The ninja war has started. Naruto's off on a field in Turtle Island, comes back, and eventually saves the day. But yeah. Yeah, he's again in on a poor technicality. Literally just because he didn't pass the tuning exams. Which then makes me think... Oh no, because I suppose they wouldn't have given Gaara the... He would still technically be a genin, although he's sort of just been super promoted to Kazekage, I guess. Because what I want to see is the tuning exams where everyone else becomes a tuning. That's what I want to see. I want a set of filler episodes where we see how all of the rest became tuning. And all the fights in the Forest of Death and everything like that. I want to see that. Bring back tuning exams part 2. That's what I want to see. That is what we deserve. Beetlezetsu and Nagata. No, it shouldn't have counted, but yeah. Forgot the secret. Or you got a filler episode of, we really want to see what's under Kakashi's mask. Let's spend this whole episode trying to do it. Like, I can understand that it's, you know, it's good fun, but we're here for the ninja fights. We're here for some good matchups. We're here for some cool looking jutsu. That's what we're here for. We're not here for secret ramen ingredients. I know that it's all, you know, it's all in the service of building the characters, you know, character building, but we need fights. The Chunin exams is the best arc for a reason, because it's got so many fights in it. Cool jutsu, like, I like that my younger sister looked at me and said, what was it? Hey, the point of it is that we now understand more about Naruto's characters, his motivations, his hopes and fears. We now understand all that. Because it will then, in the next filler episodes, we now know that Naruto is so passionate about ramen that he needs to find the secret ingredient. We know that much. We know just he's now super passionate about ramen. No, super, the important stuff. Okay, right. Now, this fight, these matchups we're about to do, is the halfway point. Technically, once I've done kind of like halfway between my fight where I'm playing as Kisame is the halfway point. There we go, finally got it. There we go, lovely. And bam. Okay. We are officially, technically, just over halfway. Like literally just over halfway. So, right. First we're going to update the list. We're down to 13,613. Now, ready for the best and also the worst. Best best and worst celebration of all time. Okay, right, ready for this? Are you ready for this? Hang on, I'm gonna see if this works first off. Okay, main scene, and then I open up my browser. Okay, okay, fabulous. Alright, let's go. So this is, sneak peek behind the scenes. This is my big, giant, oh god, now it's, oh no, it's uploaded, there we are. It's my giant spreadsheet of, all the fights, all the matchups. We got all the characters down the side there, and we got all the characters along here, and this is where I've plotted all of my goodness. So as you can see, we've done all the greens are the fights that we've won, all the reds are the fights that I've actually lost for some reason. Thankfully not many. But so I pop that in. Now we've reached halfway, so you're ready for the best celebration thing of all time. I've got this little Chrome extension up here, so we go click, it goes, whoa, it's a little confetti, and then my like graphics card suddenly goes into overdrive, and then I'm now gonna absolutely kill my CPU by doing this lots, and I can see, well, goodness, now the frame rate, so it's there. Celebration, we've reached halfway. There's a little bit more confetti. Wow. Okay. Oh god, now the frame rate's struggling. Yeah. We've reached halfway. Lovely. Jubbly. Yeah, and then also to give a little sneak peek behind the scenes of what I'm using for my thing is, so this is my little tracker. So all of these cells are matchups, or they correspond to a cell in here. So what I do is it randomly picks a non-grey cell, randomly picks one of those, and then I pop it in my little thingamabob here. So I've got the matchup, so the cell that it corresponds to. I then see who it is, and then this one alongside is then like what fight remaining number am I at. So I am now here. So this is the fight that I've just done. So now we know the next fight's going to be between Kushina and Kisame, and that is what I do. So then what I do is then I grab my fights, I then like copy and paste it over into this one here. So this is like my little like fights that I've done, and then I grab them and I fill in the map as a result. Extremely manual, extremely, I wouldn't say tedious because I do enjoy it, but that is the behind the scenes. That is my behind the scenes work, and it is fabulous. So after today, I will be going through and adding green cells to all of these for the fights that we've just done. And that is the behind the scenes of what I've been doing. And it's fabulous. Anyway, I'm going to do some more confetti because we reached halfway. Whoa! Okay, lovely. Oh no, and you can see my computer's struggling to keep up. Anyway, so that is that, and we're back to the game. Oh, hang on. There we are. We're back to the game. Oh, and thank you, and say Fangirl, thank you. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we started, but yeah. What caused me to do this madness? I don't even know what caused it. I think it all started because at some point, I think when I was playing one of the PS2 games, I thought, you know what, I'm bored. I'm just gonna do every character versus every character. I wrote them all down physically in a book, all the matchups that I had to do. I went through about 3 pencils. I went through 3 pencils when I did so. Excuse me. And yeah, and then so that was back when, like, I don't know, 20 years ago. No, not 20 years ago. 15 years ago about. And so I've never fully realized my dream of. I never fully realized my dream of doing that with any Naruto game, other than Ultimate Ninja 2, because you kind of had to get all the support, to be able to use a character as a support for another, you had to do a matchup between them 3 times. But it didn't matter which one you were playing as. If you did Naruto versus Neji 3 times as Naruto, then Neji can be a support character for Naruto, and Naruto can be a support character for Neji. So it's not a true, like, every character versus every character. Well, you can make it that way, but yeah. And so, and then again, there was only like 20 characters in that game, so it was a little bit easier. And so I've always wanted to do it, so I thought, well, you know what? Storm 4 at this point in time has the most characters out of any Naruto game to date, I think. Pretty sure. So I'll do it with the game that has the most characters. Let's go, let's do this. And this was also before I started streaming. I thought, you know, I'm wanting to do streaming. What do? Oh, I know. Let's have my my debut into the streaming world as this Naruto thing. So I've been doing, I think day 1 of streaming was day 1 of this. I'm pretty sure. I can't actually remember what it was. I'm pretty sure it was that. So yeah, and that's literally it. That is the history. So when I get to the end, day or 0 fights remaining, genuinely don't know what I'm gonna do to like celebrate. Do I do it again? I'm thinking I might even do it again with I might do it again with a PS2 Naruto game. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, by then there might be another, you know, Storm Connections might come out and I might decide to do that, even though I'm probably not good. If it's literally just a rehash of the first 4, I'm not gonna get it. Yeah. Or it's just like, great, I'll just, yeah, I might even do the PS2 Naruto games, to be honest. Maybe not do all characters versus all characters, but just do normal playthroughs of them. Because they are good. I thoroughly enjoy them. In fact, in some ways I actually enjoy them more than the Storm games. Their story modes are considerably better. Yeah, I might actually do that. Yeah. Excuse me. Oh yeah, no, the fight-wise, it is a the ultimate jutsus were the best part. That's what the Storm games miss, is how amazing the ultimate jutsus were. I just love them. I think they're fantastic. I think the combat itself definitely I don't know. I kind of, something about it I like. I like how you can do more with the stages you're in. They actually do a little bit more. Like when you're running on water, yeah, if you run out of chakra, you're gonna fall through. Like I like that stuff. They did a little bit more with stuff. Yes, it is definitely not a game suited to multiplayer by any stretch, because 2 pro players, it would be like that fight would go on forever, or at least until the counter finishes. Yeah, so I agree with you on that one. Yeah, and oh, I think it was gonna be Final Fantasy. Yes. So yeah, because that's right. So in June, at the end of June, when the best thing ever is going to get released, FF16, I am probably going to drastically increase the number of streams I do. Well, because I'm trying to mull over in my head. I've got a couple more months left to mull it over. But, so when FF16 comes out, maybe even when Tears of the Kingdom comes out, because I might do the same thing with Tears of the Kingdom, is I'm going to be streaming like, you know, Tears of the Kingdom, I'm probably going to do a full 8-hour stream of that. And for FF16, because I've got 2 days off of work for that, I'm probably going to do 2 8-hour streams. But then after that, I'm thinking, because I'm going to be playing those things every single day. Every waking hour I can, I'm going to be playing those games. So do I will I be streaming every single day to do it? But then I'm thinking, do I do that? Or, because the other thing too, is because I would want everyone to be playing Final Fantasy 16 if they can. So do I want to be spoiling it for anyone who's keen to play it? So then I'm thinking, do I do the first 2 full days of streams of it, but then from that point on, I take it off stream. And then maybe on like a Friday night or Saturday night, I just stream it again, but I'm at whatever point I'm at. Because the other thing too, because if I don't want to stream every day for it, then there'll be a big gap where I won't be playing it, and I'm gonna be very anxious to play it again. Yeah, so I'm thinking, I'm not sure yet. I haven't fully decided what my stream schedule is going to be like around it. Whether I am just going to suddenly be streaming for like 3 hours every day. Or whether I just do the first 16 hours of FF16 will be on stream, and then from that point on, you know, if you want to know more, go and buy PS5 and play it yourself. Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, favourite Final Fantasy. I think... See, every time I have to say what my favourite Final Fantasy is, I go through like 20 different things in my head. 20 different reasons as to which one is. I would want to say 10. But then at the same time I also want to say 7. But also at the same time I want to say 14. And I've all got different reasons as to why that particular one's my favourite. So like in terms of pure lore, and story. In terms of like from a lore aspect, I guess. FF7. From a character perspective, 10. From a gameplay and just, it's the game that I've sunk the most hours in ever in my life, 14. From pure gameplay and just breadth of content, and just everything. Like everything is FF14. Gameplay, story, character interactions, music. Oh my god, the music in 14. Goodness. All of that. So I want to say all 3, but I know I can't. And I genuinely don't know which one I prefer more, because I look at 7 and then I look at what they're doing with remake, like 7 as a whole. I love the lore behind that, but then 10 has just it's an absolute masterpiece in storytelling and character and just everything. I just don't know. But then 14 has it all, and yeah. You love Blitzball. I would love it if I fully understood how to be good at it. I can appreciate Blitzball. I think I've only ever won the one game that you have to do for the story in Luca. I've only ever won that once on a normal casual playthrough. I put the strength sphere you get on Auron, and he was an absolute beast all the way through Mihin High Road. Yeah, I can respect Blitzball. Let's put it that way. I don't dislike it. I don't hate it. I respect it. I'm not good at it, which is why I wouldn't say I love it. I do think it's one of all the FFs, I think it's one of the mini games that had the best integration into the story, in the sense that it's not just like an FF8, you're like, oh that's right, Triple Triad's just a thing that people play. Hey, Alone, we're on a spacecraft and Sorceress Adele has literally just been freed. Oh dear. Oh, anyway, don't play a Triple Triad game. You know, it's like, I felt that, you know, Triple Triad, and what was the other one in FF9? Oh, God, it was called something. you know, they were there and people talked about it, but it felt like a, oh, that's right, we're going off to do this minigame. Whereas Blitzball was like a whole, because there was this whole culture built around it in Spira. It felt like the minigame that most belonged. It when people were talking about Blitzball, it didn't feel like a side thing. It felt like, probably not describing it, but you know what I mean. It's, they did the best. Blitzball was the most well executed in terms of having it as part of the world. A thing that people do as part of, you know, in Spira. It was the most well explained and the one that made the most sense. What was the one in FF9 called? It wasn't Triple Triad. It wasn't Sphere Break, that's FF10. At 10-2. What was it called? What was it called? Was it... now I'm thinking of... oh goodness, hang on. FF9 mini. Not GG9, FF9. FF9. Tetramaster, that's what it was called. Lovely. Oh, which actually reminds me, now I'm thinking about Sphere Break and FF10 too. There is a theory, as a YouTuber, Final Fantasy peasant, absolutely adore him. He does the most incredible theory videos ever. And he's doing a lot of theories on FF16, which I'm not seeing. I'm not watching at all until after I've played the game, because he will be picking up on details and I don't want to be accidentally spoiled because his theories are spot on. But anyway, but he did a theory about how Rin, the Albed guy in 10, how Rin is like the secret villain of the whole, like, of all of 10 and 10-2, and not like in a way that he's working for Sin or, you know, using Sin in any way, but how, because he was the one that came up with the idea of Sphere Break, and to tell the kid Shinra, and it's all like, he's basically just like a really evil, like a Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk kind of dude, where he's actually, a lot of what he does is actually quite nefarious and has like some of the biggest implications in the whole of like the 10 thing, and it's just absolutely fascinating, this theory this guy puts together, and it's just, it all makes complete and utter sense. Yeah, so if you're curious, I'll see if I'll actually, no, what I'll do is, have you got a Discord? Because I'll send it to you in Discord. I'll send you the link to this video. It's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I think. But it's actually fascinating. It's actually fascinating. We're at Sus3, and then Sasuke. Dragon Ball's just. Oh, great! I'll find you there, and then I'll send you a link. It is. Hopefully, your brain explodes. Now, something is wrong here. What is wrong about this? Something is wrong because I've just realized I'm on fight 68. But I should be on fight 69. Or 67. So what does that tell me? That tells me that I've missed a matchup somewhere. And I think no, I've missed a matchup somewhere. Which means I've Sasori and young Shino. Ah, beans. Did I play as young Shino? Possibly not. I'll do this fight while I think about it. So this fight should be an even numbered one, but I don't think it is. No, it's not. Because I've missed a fight somewhere. Beans. So hang on, so FFX Rin Theory. Yeah, 22 minutes long. Why Rin is actually the villain of FF 10, 10-2, and 7. So obviously playing into the whole theory that 10 is in the distant past of the FF7 universe. It plays into that theory, which again is wholly unconfirmed. I think it might even be outright debunked. Yeah, but anyway, so I'll send you the link on this. This is fabulous. It's amazing. Copy link. Probably I'll send you after this, but yeah. Now oh my god, now I'm wanting like an FF Theories channel on my Discord actually. Oh my goodness, yeah. But anyway, I'll find some more juicy ones. I just love theory stuff. I love Final Fantasy theories. I love Zelda theories. I love just like any kind of theories on anything. In fact, now actually I want to go back and watch it again. Yeah. Lovely. Yeah, because what other theories? He's done some other really interesting theories as well. I'll see if I can try and find them. Because there was a whole bunch of Final Fantasy 15 ones that he did when 15 came out, and they were all pretty juicy. Which I think a few of them he actually got right. Anyway, see what we've got. Playlists. he's done a lot of 7 remake theories as well, which are pretty juicy as well. Videos. In fact, actually, now think about it, his theory on FF7 Remake and what's happening with Zack is probably one of the ones that I most agree with. Or in terms of, I think he's probably on, he's on the track to, I think, what am I trying to say? Closest to what I think it actually will be. Now, did I just play the Sasuke, Rene? Oh my goodness, I'm losing it. 1 second. Okay, I'll do this 5 first. And if I'm on an odd number, then I know I didn't. Okay, okay. Right. Wait, hang on. Hang on a second. Hang on a good googly moogly second. I think I've gone and balls it up again. I don't think I did. Sasuke Renisharingan versus Shisui back. Now, I don't think I did the Sasuke versus Shisui back, so I'm just gonna quickly do that one. Yeah, no I didn't, did I? No, because I didn't do the screen. Okay, so I've got that one, and then I'm pretty sure what I also didn't do was young Shino versus Sasori. Okay, now I think I've got to do this. Now this should end on an odd number. Okay. Right, I think harmony is restored. Theory of Orochimaru was a bit like pain. Didn't really want to destroy the leaf, just wanted to give everyone a main enemy to focus on instead of fighting each other. Ooh. That is a good theory actually. Cause I'm just trying to think, what was Orochimaru's whole motivation? Does it actually explain what his motivations were? Because what was his motivation for anything? Wasn't it to like he just wanted to become be immortal forever? That's why he's got his whole like reincarnation ritual, where he just gets all his prisoners to fight to the death, and then he takes over the body of whoever's won. Yeah. And he just wanted Sasuke's body for that particular instance because he wanted the Sharingan. He's basically just like collecting jutsu at this point. But then after that, what's his kind of like end goal? Is so I actually know. And when I think about it, I can see your theory. Because one of those things where he's evil purely because what he wants conflicts with normal accepted society. He's not malicious, like he's not evil for the sake of evil, or I just like effing shit up just cause it's fun. He's not that. He's just very creepy. Interesting. Because wasn't he like, when he, in his youth, he was like super soft, wasn't he? He was like super squishy. Like very, not romantic's the wrong word, but like sweet and lovely. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, in which case it is very much a pain situation. Yeah, no, interesting theory actually. I kind of dig it. I'm digging it. The more I think about it, the more I'm digging it. Because in terms of motivation, I mean, at least he's not, and it's what I absolutely despised about how they did Sasuke's character in Shippuden, was every 10 seconds he's got a different motivation for everything. It's like one day, oh, I just want to destroy the leaf. Next day, oh, I'm going to save the leaf and become Hokage. Next day, oh, I want to destroy the leaf again. Next day, oh, I don't give two craps about the leaf. Oh, next day, oh yeah, I'm going to like save the leaf but not necessarily become the Hokage. It's like, make up your mind, goddamn. But yeah, with the Orochimaru, it's, I mean, beyond like the learn every jutsu and become immortal. No, because didn't he? No, hang on, he wanted the 6 path stuff, which is why he needed the Senju and the Uchiha stuff. Something like that. We need, like, okay, that's right. On the line of like fillers that we actually need, can we just have like a filler fully dedicated to like Orochimaru, but like from not necessarily the like events that we know, but from his perspective? Well, I suppose you could do that, I guess, but like kind of like do like from his point of view to kind of like paint him in like a fully neutral, like it's shot from like kind of like a neutral perspective where I don't know, just to, the inner workings of Orochimaru, I don't know, something like that. Yes, no, yeah, no, he didn't. There was something like he needed some combination of abilities to become the 6th, to get the super, like the 6 paths stuff that, like the Sage of the 6 Path stuff that Naruto and Madara and them get. Like he wanted that, I think. Yeah. Yeah, no, and he trained Sasuke because, oh, it gets really, the more I think about it, just the creepier it gets. A and Kiba. Hang on one second. No, they'll be young Kiba. Oh, I'm about to do a goof. A and young Kiba there. Yeah, just he did. He wanted to train Sasuke because he wanted him to be like better. So when he does take over his body, then I don't know. He's more supple. Ugh. Ugh. Oh no, you couldn't sleep. Yeah, well, your sleep when you normally go to sleep should hopefully be better. Like, do you feel like sleep tired, or like more like your body's just drained and fatigued? Young Kakashi, Kisame. Both? Okay. Yeah, when you go to sleep when your body kind of expects to go to sleep, you'll probably you should have a better one. Here we go. Lovely. Grah. Right, and then Kisa, me, and Ugashi. Actually, no, what fight am I at to? 83, okay. Here we are, lovely. Beauty. Now, just looking at the next two matchups, and I've got Iruka and Young Kankuro, and then Young Gaara and Young Kankuro. So I think I might actually do those ones. So then I don't start off the next day with some Young Kankuro fights. I think I might actually do that. And start off with some nice ones. Wait. Got him again. Oh my god, I always get so excited when I'm able to hit someone with Kankuro's ultimate. So rarely happens. What Naruto did to make Hinata the biggest female symbol in wasn't it that she just liked how he was so enthused? Wasn't she like because she was so shy and he was so not shy, like he was kind of like what she wanted to be, so she kind of had this weird fascination with it, but then it kind of turned into a crush because like he was one of the few people that like didn't just say, oh my god, Hinata's weird, like he actually didn't mind talking to her. Is it, oh my goodness, is it like a whole thing about she's like the only guy that gave her attention, and so she just draws onto that maybe? Oh my gosh, you could do like a whole psychoanalysis of Hinata. Yeah, wasn't it like, because she was so shy and so just useless, I'm gonna say she's useless at anything as a child. Yeah, she was like, oh, I like Naruto because he's just everything I want to be. He's so outgoing and nothing phases him. He's got so much bravery and so much courage, and I love him so much. And he's the only guy that like gives me the time of day. So I feel like it's that. It's just something. She's just got some real like insecurity issues. I don't know. But the message that she is giving young girls though is, if you become obsessed and crush hard enough on one guy for your entire life, eventually, just eventually, he'll realize that you are really the best one for him, and then he'll marry you and have kids. So that's the thing, you just gotta pick someone at like age 5, and then you just gotta just stay obsessed, stay in love, and then eventually in like 25 years time you'll get married. It just works, you know. If Hina can do it, then us ladies can do it too. That's the message that Hinata teaches. Yeah, no, it does go way beyond a crush. It's like a, I don't know, something about it feels very like unhealthy to me. I feel like you would have thought Naruto would have saved her life in some way. You would have thought he would have like pulled her from a burning building, kind of thing. But he's literally just done nothing outwardly to her. Like he's done nothing life-changing to her directly. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'm not the only one that like thinks that what the hell even is that matchup. I'm sorry. The way that Sasuke has been written from start to finish, he is not a relationship man. He is not a relationship man. If anything, he's a Virgil from Devil May Cry, where he has a kid with some rando that you don't even know her name. Just has a kid, probably just, you know, went to a town and they thought, oh, you know, I'm a bit lonely tonight. Whatever. He's not that. He's not a, oh, hey Sakura, what up? Do you want to like have children? And she's like, yes, of course. I'm just gonna forget about that time you tried to conveniently kill me, or even the time that I was trying to conveniently try and kill you, but I chickened out. Oh, it's just like, oh, she does. Okay, Sakura does not deserve Sasuke, to be honest. I've got a lot of feelings about it. As an ex-Sasuke fangirl, Sakura does not deserve him. I don't think anyone. Yeah. Anyway, I could go on for hours about it. But I'm going to update my list because we're now down to the 500s. Down to 5583. Ooh, lovely. Okay, and I think I will, with that, I will call it a day there. So next week should be a normal week again, I think. Oh, hang on. No, I think it's the following week. I've got a meeting on a Friday at like 8 o'clock at night. So a training session actually with some people in Singapore with 8 o'clock at night. So probably that day I'll probably bring streams forward or maybe later, whatevs. Next week should be a normal week. But no, do not apologize, Bull. It is all good. If you're feeling blur, make sure you're looking after yourself first. That is the most important thing. But no, oh god, oh sorry, I banged the mic. Actually, it's gonna last the longest is Shikamaru Tamari. It is the biggest cruise liner ever. It is formed of mutual respect and love, and yeah, it's just Shikamaru Tamari are a couple goals actually. But no, thank you all for joining. It's been fabulous. Michael Rich, I will send you the link to that theory video on Discord. Hopefully you like it. I'm actually looking at it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna now watch it again after this. But no, thank you all so much. Stay safe, stay well, look after yourselves, drink lots of water, spoonfuls of ice cream as the day allows, and I will see you all on the next time. Have a good one, everyone, and bye.